Hey, Big Brother fans. Well, McKenzie pulled out another head of household win, but it might not save her game because when she made her nominations today, she's taking aim at threats that are pretty low in the house and falling for even more fibs. Let's talk about why this win might have only bought McKenzie one more week in the BB26 house. And hey, please subscribe if you're not following us already. So at the double eviction, McKenzie renommed Leah, who would have been loyal to her probably to the end. And then McKenzie sent out Angela, another person who probably would have stayed loyal because she needed allies. And after the dust settled Thursday night, they played the tiny comp. Usually it's the tiny veto, but this time it was a tiny HoH. It'd have been cute if they gave him a tiny key. So I wonder if they were doing itty bitty computer parts or something that might have been cute. So comp beast McKenzie pulled out another W, but at this point, I think she's playing for third place at best. And here's why. Last night in the HoH room, Rubina came up when McKenzie was alone and she gave her some facts, some real truths. Rubina said, "You know, I don't lie. I don't make things up." And McKenzie's like, yeah. So Rubina told McKenzie late Wednesday night, the night before the live eviction, Chelsie was talking to her and dropped McKenzie's name as a target for the double eviction if Rubina won that HoH, and basically saying that with a double, there's not any time to plan. You know, she was planting seeds. And Rubina said Chelsie brought up how many wins McKenzie had, and Rubina said, you know, you winning comps doesn't bother me, but she also said she didn't feel really good about telling this to McKenzie, but said that she really needed to know. And then McKenzie says to Rubina, "I'm not afraid to make big moves." I mean, really? Leah was a big move? The moves she's making today aren't big moves. Anyway, Rubina basically said when she talked to Chelsie, she was kind of playing dumb about it, acting like she didn't even really know how double evictions work. And Chelsie said that's when big threats need to go. So Rubina says that Chelsie wasn't going to go after McKenzie. And McKenzie said, yeah, because it's personal. And Rubina said she sees this hardcore loyalty between Chelsie and Cam over anybody else in the house. And McKenzie agreed. And then Rubina said, this stays between you and me, right? And McKenzie said, yeah, absolutely. Okay. Rubina told her she just wanted her to know. And McKenzie said she's taking everything with a grain of salt. And then she makes her decisions when people bring her things. So McKenzie let Rubina know that she was going to nominate Kimo and Rubina would be sitting alongside him, but he's the target. And this is the same kind of thing she played on her last HoH, telling pawns, you know, they're both pawns. McKenzie also said she would use the veto on Rubina if she wins it. I don't believe that either. So this whole thing with nomming Kimo originated, as always, with Chelsie with an assist from Cam. They were pressing on McKenzie about Kimo being a schemer, like the one who's making things happen, you know, and when it was just the two of them talking alone, Cam and Chelsie agreed, yeah, they want him out. And they basically think that Rubina will be easier to move around the house how they want with him gone. And of course, they're worried that Kimo or Rubina could win the veto this week. And then there's a renom ceremony. And that would mean Cam or Chelsie going up on the block out of necessity just because of low numbers. And that would result in a tie vote with McKenzie breaking the tie. So then here's where things went after that. After promising Rubina she would keep it between them, McKenzie couldn't wait to tell Chelsie what Rubina said. And guess what? Chelsie denied it. Of course she did. Anybody would. Chelsea's version of the story is that she asked Rubina who she would target in the double if she won head of household. And get this, McKenzie told Chelsie that she was trying not to laugh when Rubina told her. McKenzie literally doesn't believe any truth that anyone tells her if it contradicts anything Chelsie has said. So Cam and Chelsie were again talking about targeting McKenzie Thursday night after the double. And once again, Chelsie is getting the HoH to do her dirty work. Bottom line, McKenzie's sitting between two duos, Kimo and Rubina, Cam and Chelsie. And I firmly believe McKenzie could win sitting next to three of those four people. I think she would beat anybody except for Chelsie, and that might even be a close vote. And let's be real, Chelsie knows McKenzie would be tough to beat at the end. Her resume is so strong, and despite her sending out Leah and Angela, I think McKenzie would still get those jury votes over Chelsie. When they've been asked to describe people on their way out, everybody has, pretty much had a bullseye on Chelsie being manipulative and clever and a great player and the one who's really moving the pieces. So that's why Cam is Chelsea's ride or die final two best choice, because McKenzie does have such a strong resume. I mean, who's going to vote for furniture over a master strategist like Chelsie? And I do like Cam, but you have to recognize Chelsie has kind of done the survivor thing. She's outwitted, outplayed, and outlasted almost everybody without getting a ton of blood on her hands. So it's a good game she's playing. A little after 2 p.m. Big Brother time and staying down for 4 hours. I don't even know why. The live feeds went down for the nomination ceremony, and they stayed down so long. Anyway, as expected, McKenzie nominated Kimo and Rubina. And as you know, the power of veto comp plays tomorrow. Everybody will be playing. It's BB Comics. And I have to say, McKenzie stands a good chance of winning it. I'm not sure Cam is trying to win anything at this point, but he should have the endurance to do well in it. I don't know what his attention to detail really is like. Chelsie isn't always great with details, like in the wild robot comp where she was kind of running amok. I don't see Kimo and Rubina having a shot in hell of winning BB Comics, if I'm being honest. And out of the two of them, maybe Rubina, because she's a ball of energy and she does pay attention to things. If McKenzie wins it, I doubt she would have the stones to make a big move and take down Rubina and renom Chelsie or Cam. I imagine McKenzie, Cam, or Chelsie would leave that veto unplayed, sending Kimo to jury. And I feel like McKenzie either has such a bad read that she can't see what Chelsea's doing, or she thinks she can beast mode her way to being the one who decides who's sitting next to her on finale night. I will not feel bad for McKenzie if she is the last juror sent out before the finale vote, because she has ignored so many red flags and warnings. And right now, she's been given very valid info about Chelsie from both Rubina and Leah and ignored it. And if McKenzie gets to pick final two and takes McKenzie to the end, she is Cody Calafiore choosing Derek Levasseur. That's my impression. Chelsie told McKenzie she would take her to final two and not Cam. And she sold this to McKenzie saying she can't sit next to Cam at the end because he has no blood on his hands. I mean, good cover story, I guess, but I don't see Chelsie taking anybody but Cam. He has no resume, and everybody knows that. There's no way him sitting next to McKenzie, him sitting next to Chelsie, him sitting next to most anybody. I don't see Cam winning it. So as of today, I feel like it's Chelsea's game to lose. She's outplayed everybody and didn't even have to win a bunch of comps to do it. McKenzie can't play in the next HoH. So Cam, Chelsie, and whoever survives the week of nominations is going to play. One of them will win, and probably McKenzie's gone next week. I mean, it was already crazy she survived this past week, but I know Chelsie was counting votes and realized she needed McKenzie for one more week. And then I think she's going to clip her. We'll see how it plays out. But again, McKenzie's official nominees are Kimo and Rubina. The feeds came back to Rubina chatting in the kitchen, taking it pretty well. Meanwhile, Kimo was off alone in bed, super duper sad, sixth time on the block. Thanks for listening. Check back for updates on that veto comp winner tomorrow and the big plans for Monday's veto meeting. And please subscribe if you haven't.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.